there is the guy. There's some lights on the thing. Can we turn those lights off, please?
Yeah.
Yeah, they're on. Can we turn the other lights off? Is that better?
Good.
We're good.
Sweet. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, thanks, guys.
Cam, discipline in the second half really let you down. Near flawless in the first half, but just didn't really put them away when you had the chance.
Yeah. It's we just spoke about that. Probably didn't learn our lessons from last week. We come out last week and made a lot of errors after half time and lost control of the game, and that seemed to happen again tonight. So, there was some really good stuff in the first half. Some stuff I'm really proud of. To get to 18-0 was good, but that wasn't good enough that last quarter of the game. Momentum totally shifted, and we weren't good enough to win it back.
What do you put that down to? Because the effort errors in the first half, the kick pressure, chasing balls, I think led to 2 tries. Were they trying too much in the second half? Were they defending lead? What do you put that down to?
I think the effort was there straight after half time as well. We come out and kick pressured again and played field position and won a lot of good ball. We were just trying to land knockout punches there when we earned some good ball, and Broncos were defending well, and I think we just got frustrated and just handed the ball over way too cheaply. And that was frustrating because it was sort of the same lesson as last week there. And then those sort of errors led to Broncos' first try, which really gave them a lot of energy and shifted it around. But really disappointing finish because we pride ourselves on being really process driven, and we didn't do that in the last 20 minutes.
Almost guilty of being impatient in that sense, Cam. Do you mean in attack there, or
being patient?
Yeah, trying to force things.
Yeah, I thought we were trying to force it too much. The Broncos were defending really well start of the second half, and we earned some possession there, and we just had to keep asking good questions and being patient and playing the field position game, but we didn't. We just tried to force it, and it probably played into their hands.
Can I ask, obviously the scoreboard plays a role in how we all view the game, but the 60-minute mark, were you happy with how your attack had been there, or were you still feel there were times where maybe it was clunky and you just trying to force it?
Probably happy for the first half.
Yeah.
Probably not so happy in the good ball sets we had after half time. I thought the stuff we spoke about at half time didn't really happen. I thought we missed some opportunities to do what we were trying to do. So, not entirely happy with it. But I will say there was a lot I was happy with in that first 60 minutes.
I was going to say, talk us through the changes, obviously, like the decision to shift Matty Bird into centres and start with Lockie.
We're just a bit short on numbers at the moment, and Carraz going into... We sort of planned for Birdo, probably be 18th man again. Then when that shifted to Carraz going in, it sort of meant we were a bit short in the outside backs, and Birdo's played that role a number of times before. We were sort of, going to try and use both of them at times in the game at 5'8" and centre, but Birdo just put his hand up and said, it's easier if I just play centre, and he was doing a real good job in the first half, and it was flowing nicely, but yeah.
Do you think Burton and Sexton will still be the way you go towards the back end of this game?
I haven't thought too far past that game at the moment. We've got to go back and review that, and there was a lot to like about what we did in the first half, but there's some lessons there. Filthy we didn't learn our lessons from last week. We had to stand up and learn them and be better this week than what we were last week in those areas that we practiced all week and we weren't.
What did you make of Toby and Lockie tonight? Both of them had some really nice kicks, but do you feel like it'll just take a little bit longer, I guess, for them to be on the field at the same time for that combination to really come together?
I don't think our attack's reached its potential all year. So, we're sort of searching for that, as most clubs are. We're sort of searching for that ourselves on what exactly works. We've had a lot of turnover with different back rowers and things like that. So we're just still searching. We've got 9 or 10 weeks to go to figure that out. But as I said, you've got to learn your lessons pretty quickly. We didn't learn our lessons from last week and take them into tonight. So that's what makes me unhappy.
Cam, is it fair to say, I know you don't want to use Origin guys as an excuse, but Stephen Crichton tonight not having him, A, defensively at the end there where they ran in a lot of tries down that edge, and B, when we talk about patience and trying to force passes and whatnot, just having his calm voice out there as well.
You can't underestimate Stephen's influence on our team. His leadership, his communication, his understanding of the game and what's needed at what time. But there's no excuse for not having Origin players there tonight. Both teams are in the same boat. I'm sure they would have had their own challenges as well. So we needed to do better there.
Thanks, guys.
It was reported today, Toby Sexton is going to Super League. Is that good to get out of the way so we don't have to get asked
Yeah, look, he came and saw me last night and told me about it, and it's really good for him and his family, and I'm really stoked for him. He's worked really hard. He came here, he was playing Tweed Heads a couple of years ago and came down to the Bulldogs for an opportunity. He had to bide his time at the start and then got his opportunity, and he's done really well, and it's a great opportunity for him over there. But he was really clear that he's not thinking about that right now. He's thinking about how we get better at the back end of the season, and that's what we're all thinking.
Thank you.